There's a feeling in the air that you can't get anywhere except Milwaukee. I taste 1,000 yesterdays and I love the magic ways of Milwaukee. From the shores of Michigan I can watch you grow again and see you touch the sky.
Touch the sky.
Where the river flows to where the sunset goes, where all good neighbors passing by. Makes no difference where I go, you're the best hometown I know. Hello Milwaukee, makes no difference.
From the greatest city in the world, Milwaukee, Wisconsin. Hello, everybody. Hey, it's me, Mr. Brewtown. You are listening to the big show. We call it Brewtownsports. Look for us on Twitter and on Facebook. Twitter is called Twitter is called Brewtownsports. Facebook is called Mr. Brewtown. I have to write this stuff down. You figure after all these years of doing this, I'd have this all memorized. Join the Facebook group. It's called True Blue Brew Crew. Man, oh man, it is the best group on Facebook. You can listen to the show at baseballtalkradio.com, Spreaker.com, Podomatic.com, Player FM, Stitcher, TuneIn, and iTunes.com, and the 405media.com, Super Live Talk, and Righteous Podcast. You can email the show at mrbrewtown78@gmail.com. Love the new opening. I do. I love it. That's my kind of music. You know, that kind of relaxing 1970s music. I like that kind of stuff. We figured it's a new year for the Brewers. It's a new year for the show. We might as well have a new opening. And besides, I got kind of sick of that rap stuff. You know, I've been starting to show off with the rap stuff. I don't like that stuff. So, hey, big day for the Milwaukee Brewers and a big day for Ryan Braun. He delivered an IBR single in his first at-bat of the spring. Jonathan Lucroy homered and Matt Garza pitched 4 scoreless innings in the Brewers' 5-2 win over the Chicago White Sox this afternoon at Maryville Baseball Park. Good for Ryan Braun, good for Jonathan Lucroy, and good for Matt Garza. And as always, good for the Milwaukee Brewers. Garza was displeased with his 3 walks, but he surrendered only 2 hits and included a pair of double plays in a mostly low-stress start. He pitched with a lead thanks to Braun's first-inning RBI single off his Chicago starter, Carlos Rodon. Now, Lucroy's first spring training home run extended the lead in the 3rd inning before Braun walked and scored from first base on Chris Carter's double to the left center field. The Brewers tacked on 2 more runs in the 4th inning after Braun had exited the game. Now, according to Braun, he says, man, I had a good game. I'm slapping myself on the back. He said that the ball finds you and the opportunities find you. Somehow it always seems to work out that way. Right? Question mark. You know, Braun is just still the biggest face on the Milwaukee Brewers, and it has absolutely nothing to do with steroids. He still is the main man on the Milwaukee Brewers. Now, the White Sox cut into the Brewers' lead in the 6th inning on, pinch hitter Jacob May's run-scoring ground-out, which brought home Tim Anderson after the shortstop's triple. Chicago made it 5-2 an inning later on Andy Pinero's sacrifice fly. Anderson also flashed his glove in the 3rd inning, driving to his right, making a strong throw to rob Brewers left-handed hitter Eric Young Jr. of a base hit. Now, Rodon took the loss after allowing 4 earned runs on 7 hits in 3 1/3 innings. And the White Sox, they'll have their Cactus League day off tomorrow, and then they resume play on Friday against the Cubs at Camelback Ranch out there in beautiful, sunny Phoenix, Arizona. Robin Ventura, the manager, has yet to name a starter for that game as he begins the process of lining his rotation for the season opener at Oakland on April 4th, which is less than 3 weeks away. Now, the Brewers will play their first night game of the spring on Thursday when Taylor Youngman takes the mound in surprise for an 8:05 Milwaukee Brewer time start against the Rangers. It will air via MLB.com's exclusive webcast on Brewers.com. So there you go. I mean, if you're not in the Milwaukee area and you don't get Fox Sports Wisconsin and you don't get WTMJ, the Brewers flagship, just get on up on Brewers.com and you can watch the game, which is great because I think there's like 37 Brewers fans outside of Wisconsin right now that are just waiting to get that game. Some of the other news and notes from Milwaukee Brewer camp as one half of the Brewers closers committee moved to the brink of game action today. Manager Craig Counsell kind of talked about his intention to use both Jeremy Jeffries and Will Smith in the role at the start of the season. Makes sense, because neither one of them have totally dominated, and neither one of them stepped out and said, hey, I'm the man. So you're going to play both of them because both of them could become the everyday closer. Smith has been sharp so far in strength training. 1 hit over 4 scoreless innings, but Jeffries is getting going after having a strained right hamstring early in camp. He faced hitters in an impressive live batting practice session this morning. He could pitch in a game by the weekend, according to Craig Counsell. As for anointing one or the other as a replacement for departed closer Francisco Rodriguez, Counsell said, I can guarantee you it will not happen. There's no such position as opening day closer. It's just not a baseball position. You don't have to announce it. There's no spot on the lineup card for closer. And I think the Brewers have to get used to that fact that until they find their everyday closer, they're going to have to just throw guys out there, whatever pitcher fits into what's going on the field and who you're facing. And we'll see what they can come up with. But I like both these guys. I really do. I think both of them. We know Will Smith is a good pitcher because he's shown it to us in the past. And can he be the big-time closer? And Jeffers has impressed, I think, everybody since he came up with the Milwaukee Brewers. So on the schedule for the next couple of days, tomorrow, of course, that's a night game. They take on the Texas Rangers out there in Surprise, Arizona. Taylor Youngman is on the mound for the Milwaukee Brewers. So far this spring, he's 0-1 and a 2.08 ERA. He'll take on Nick Tepesh, who's 1-1 and a 5.14 ERA. Once again, that game can be seen worldwide on the web at Brewers.com, and the game time is at 8:05 Milwaukee Brewer time. So wherever you are in the world, you have to adjust your time to Milwaukee Brewer time. Then on Friday, they take on Cincinnati. Chase Anderson is on the mound for the Milwaukee Brewers. He's 1-1 and has a ERA of 14.85. It's spring training, man. We're not going to get too concerned with that ERA because over the next couple of games he'll bring it down. He'll take on Anthony DeScafini, 2-0 and a 6 ERA. That game time is at 3:05 Milwaukee Brewer time. So good night game tomorrow for the Milwaukee Brewers. Also in some news, Jimmy Nelson pitched yesterday in a minor league inter-squad game. He gave up 3 hits, 2 runs, struck out 5, had 70 pitches, 40 of them were for strikes, so that's pretty good. Going into today's game, Domingo Santana had a 5-game hitting streak, 8 for 12, and batting .667. He's got 4 doubles, 1 home run, 4 RBIs, 5 runs, and 2 stolen bases. That was going into today's game. He has reached base safely in 11 of his last 14 plate appearances. I'm hoping this guy stays hot as the season begins because he's one of those guys that you're looking at saying this guy's going to get stronger as the season goes along, and we hope that he can take the wear and tear, and that'll be up to Craig Counsell to kind of give him a day's rest here and there. But the Brewers are really high on him, and I'm kind of high on him for now. You know what I'm saying? I mean, I don't want to come out and say Domingo Santana is the savior of the Milwaukee Brewers, because then I would just be a mainstream media member. Because they always anoint somebody as the greatest player that you're ever going to see, and the guy turns out not to be that good. But I think Domingo Santana is going to be a pretty good baseball player for the Milwaukee Brewers. I'm trying to save myself, because some of you guys actually write down some of the stuff that I say before the season happens. Like when I come on and say, I think the Brewers are going to win the National League Central, and they're going to the World Series, and then the Brewers end up in 3rd place, and they don't go anywhere, and then I get all the emails at the end of the season, haha, you were wrong, and we were right. They never prove that they're right, but you know what I'm saying. Hey, we're going to take a short break. When we come back, we're going to talk a little bit more about spring training baseball. Milwaukee Brewers are going to take a look at some of the news and notes from around the wonderful world of Major League Baseball. And we're going to take a look at the standings as we stand today in spring training baseball. And we'll do that right after this break. You're listening to The Big Show. We call it Brewtown Sports.
star. Be a believer in Brewer fever. It's fun to join in the cheering. Stomp your feet, clap your hands. You're part of the team sitting in the stands. Come catch the fever. The fever with Brewin is for everyone. You'll be a believer in Brewer fever when you feel the excitement of the big home run. Stomping your feet, clapping your hands. You're part of the team sitting in the stands. Come see what's brewing. The Milwaukee Brewers. Catch the fever. The fever with Brewin is for everyone. You'll be a believer in Brewer fever when you feel the excitement of the big home run. Stomping your feet, clapping your hands. You're part of the team sitting in the stands. Come see what's brewing. The Milwaukee Brewers.
Hey, welcome back to the big show. We call it Brewtownsports. Look for us on Twitter and Facebook. Twitter is called Brewtownsports. On Facebook is Mr. Brewtown. Look for the Facebook group, True Blue Brew Crew. You got to be a Brewers fan and or a baseball fan. Which, I know it sounds confusing, like if you're a Cubs fan and you join that group, you're going to want to talk about the Cubs and people are going to attack you. And they're going to call you a moron and stupid and you don't know anything and you must be voting for Donald Trump, all that stuff. So, just kind of keep it semi-friendly and say, hey, nice game by the Brewers today as they lost to the Cubs. Stuff like that. Come ahead and join them. I'm one of the administrators. I do a background check. I know people in the CIA and the FBI, we do a background check on you. We find out if you're truly, truly a baseball fan and not a communist or, some sort of radical person. So go ahead and join it. I just sold everybody, I think, on joining that group. You can listen to the show at BaseballTalkRadio.com, Spreaker, Podomatic Player FM, Stitcher, TuneIn, and iTunes.com, and the 405media.com, Super Live Talk, and Righteous Podcasts. You can email the show at MrBrewtown78 at gmail.com. I got a hair on my tongue. I know we're not supposed to share things from our personal life, but I've got a hair on my tongue. So if I start kind of making noise and stuff, I'm trying to get this hair off my tongue. I've tried water. I've tried everything. I even went and got a brush from underneath the sink, that we kind of use to clean up the sink and everything, and I tried that. It didn't work. I don't know what to do. So if you have any suggestions for me, just go ahead and email us at MrBrewtown78 at gmail.com. It's driving me crazy. It's absolutely. It's like when you get one of those really super long hairs growing out of your ear. You don't notice it, but everybody else does, and they're looking at you going, everybody just thinks I'm beautiful. I mean, I'm in the mall, and the whole mall is looking at me, and they're going, you look beautiful today. But they're really not. What they're thinking is, oh, God, look at that big hair coming out of that guy. It's the same thing. Let's take a look at some of the action from around Major League Baseball. Today, the Brewers beat the White Sox, the good guys, on the south side of Chicago, 5-2. Jonathan Lucroy with the big home run, his first of the 2016 spring training season. Middle of the seventh right now, the New York Yankees are beating the Toronto Blue Jays 2-0. 2-0. Bottom of the fifth, Minnesota all over the Boston Red Sox, 5-1. A game that starts tonight, Arizona Diamondbacks